You live and most certainly learn, my gorgeous Taurinis, indeed. In particular, I'm referring to the actual 9th, 10th and the actual 11th of September 2020. This is going to be the time when you're going to get hold of the certain information. This information is to do with the longevity. This information is to do with waiting. But also this information is to do with the actual surprise that you're going to have at the same time, you know. But what are you going to get and what are you going to gain out of this information? It's a bit of a satisfaction, I must say, because it's going to happen with a little element of surprise, and it's going to be good, it's going to be positive. But on another hand, what are you going to actually learn is just to be a little bit careful, and who to be a little bit careful about, who to be a little bit careful around this month, and also around October. October is also going to play an important role. But this is why I said, you see, you live and learn, and most certainly through this particular experience, you know, you're not only going to open your eyes rather nicely, but at the same time you're also going to learn what to avoid, which people to avoid, which particular person to be rather careful about, and that in itself is brilliant, because it is all about your own experience that you're going to learn from, but also it's about your own protection. The bottom line is that these 3 days are going to become the actual key dates when it comes to you moving on, you know, with your life. But it's to do with the problem, you know, that the progress was stopped, you know, and kind of like a slowdown along the way. You know, it's something that has been for quite years around, something that has been for quite a few years about, you see. So now this is going to be a rather interesting point that you are going to reach. So very important learning experience, but also a quite significant continuation. On another hand, you see, as I said, you know, you will be able to protect yourself, but on another hand, it's also going to prevent you from the certain conflict. If these 3 days didn't happen, if the situation didn't unfold in this particular way, then you would end up having an unnecessary conflict. And this is why this is so important. And it's only part of the certain picture, you know, it's only one little puzzle, you know, amongst like hundreds of other puzzles. But this particular puzzle is going to be rather significant and very important, and it is going to have a little bit of a bitter experience, but then at the same time it's all about you again learning certain things, evolving and protecting yourself, because it's not only about protecting yourself from the kind of conflicting influences and things like that, but also the bottom line is that these 3 days are going to be directly connected to the actual last few days of September. The last 3 or 4 days of September are going to be connected to this situation, because the way things are going to unfold, the last few days of September are most certainly going to bring you a wonderful creativity, and that creativity that you are going to have is just going to refresh you in many different ways. But most importantly, it's going to motivate you, it's going to make you feel good, it's going to make you feel alive, but it's going to inspire you on so many different levels. I repeat, this is going to be deep, but it's very important for things to unfold in this particular way, because it's all about evolving, but at the same time finding things out about yourself, in particular when it comes to the new direction, in particular when it comes to the new option, in particular when it comes to the new beginning. But once the energy is just perfectly leveled up, once the energy is so perfect, you know, then at the same time you're so much more powerful, because this is to do with who you are. This is to do with what you do. This is to do with what your spirit is all about. This is to do with your true and honest calling, you see. And that's why this is so important, because it's about the start of something really big, and also the beginning of a rather meaningful experience is going to be connected to it right at the end of September. And it's all going to start from this particular moment, from this particular point. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Taurini. And it's for September 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurus, Taurinis. And it's for September 2020. And guess what? Your number is 108. 11. 111 is just absolutely remarkable, and it's mind-blowing in many different ways, because on one hand there are three particular things that are going to happen, three particular things that are going to influence you, and they're going to be so impactful to your life like there is no tomorrow. An important beginning is going to take place this month, and that important beginning is so important when it comes to your personal evolving, when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your spiritual journey, with everything that you have done so far. But most certainly you're going to take on a whole new level, on a whole another level. And this is why it's going to be so important, because you're going to discover certain things around you, about you as well. But at the same time, it is the beginning that is going to seem like maybe not as important, not as huge, but then later on, as the time goes by, oh my Lord, this is going to be very important. This is going to bring you also an absolutely remarkable confirmation as well. This confirmation is quite significant when it comes to the balance that I've mentioned before. Once you've got everything right up here, once you're certain about everything, your eyes are open, my darlings, but they're open in a completely different way, in a completely different light, with a completely different vibration. And when we reach this particular stage of our evolvement, of our spiritual journey, then, oh my God, it's just remarkable. There are a few different things that are going to be around you that you will be able to play with. I say play with, it's purely because you are going to have acquired a sacred energy around you, and that sacred energy is on another hand going to bring so much wiseness within you, so much wiseness in you. So there are four particular things that you don't like doing, that you absolutely can't stand doing. You're actually gonna find them quite enjoyable. Why? It's because you will be benefiting from this energy, and that in itself, it also gives you so many opportunities, more opportunities to actually learn and move on with your life in certain directions that you wouldn't normally move. Number 111 is just also remarkably powerful number. Oh my God, it's not only because of the spirituality and angels, you know, you will be kind of having lots of little moments, you know, like a bit of a Twilight Zone, but it's just really good because you are going to be enjoying this. You're going to enjoy things of mystery. You're going to enjoy unusual things. Not only that you're going to enjoy it, but you're just going to come across very strange little signs and you know, like omens and things like that throughout the actual months. And this in itself is so important to mention, because it's to do with also a crucial change that is going to take place, you see. But this is only going to be the beginning, and this is why this month is going to be so important, because so much is going to come out of it like there is no tomorrow. What you need to remember to do, just kind of like try as many new things as you possibly can, even if it's like, I don't know, something not that huge, something not that massive, something not that super important, but every single new thing that you try, it's going to bring you something different. On another hand, you know, this month is super important when it comes to the beginning of a massive, crucial change. I can't stress how big this is going to be for you, my gorgeous Taurinis, because something very terrible is coming to an end, something very annoying that caused so much confusion and so much darkness in your lives. I have seen this previously, my gorgeous Taurinis, and you have seems to be affected by something very emotional that happened like a few years ago, that left a very, very deep, very heavy imprint on you. It depends, you know, on the certain signs, and it depends when what actually happens and take place in our lives. But when it comes to you, as I said before, you seem to have been like emotionally affected by something. Maybe it was like a loss of someone, maybe it was something very emotional, maybe it was like a bit of a sadness and negativity, maybe you were affected by the certain depression because of something else. It really doesn't matter, but the bottom line is that this level of this energy affected you a few years ago, and this is just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. Now the amazing thing is that this is going to start resolving itself. It's gonna take another few months, right until the end of this year, but September, my gorgeous Taurinis, it's going to be crucial for a few different reasons, but the most important reason is that this is an important the beginning of that negativity slowly coming to an end. And as the time goes by, as we are getting closer to the end of the year, the air is going to be more clear, and you are going to be able to find yourself within and learn from it, and find something very magical actually that you will be able to use in your future later on. On another hand, you know, it's to do with your destiny, fortune and fate. This is going to be the moment, you see. This is why you need to pay for attention to the signs, because there is going to be an amazing outcome that you're going to have this month, as I already said, but it's to do with the advancement. And most certainly it's to do with an important conclusion. You know, this is the time when you're finally gonna feel like, oh, thank God, you know, approaching the end of the problem. And it's going to feel like this, you know, very significant, very powerful, but also at the same time, it's going to be connected to an unexpected event. And this particular unexpected event that I'm talking about, it's about the actual creativity. Just pay attention. I know it sounds really weird, it sounds really bizarre, but I said this before, I mentioned this, you know, the more creative we are, the more we do things, the more we throw ourselves out there into the situations, into the things, into the world, you know, as much as we possibly can. The more we do, the more of this wonderful and magical energy we are creating, which on another hand, this reflects on us so beautifully, and it brings us things that we wouldn't normally have. So through your own creativity, just pay attention, please pay attention, my gorgeous Taurinis. When you feel the most creative, you know, throughout the September, it's going to bring a lot of creativity in many different ways indeed. But when you feel like really creative, you know, it's going to happen at some point. You are also going to need to understand that something really interesting is going to happen, an unexpected event in particular. It's going to occur at the same time, you know, you're going to be surprised. But then on another hand, you will just need to know immediately that this is the time, an important time to step out from your comfort zone. It's absolutely perfect and superb time to release the negativity, and also you will know that the new important cycle is about to begin, it's about to start. So through your own creativity, you're also going to gain such an amazing and wonderful advice at the same time, something very interesting. It's going to make sense to you like there is no tomorrow, and you will be able to gather like really powerful advice out of that situation, you know. And it's in particular to do with unfulfilled hopes, and it's in particular to do with the time of a bit of a pessimism that you might have had, and it's also to do with the time of like a little bit of a bad luck that caused a certain outcomes not that long ago, and that basically just kind of made you to realize that maybe there was like a little bit of lack of opportunities that you've had. And this is why you will be able to just to turn things around a little bit for yourself, and you will gain this wonderful, gorgeous, magic ability to look at your situation from a slightly different angle and gain something so incredible out of it, you know. So you will be able to actually turn these things around, you know, and you will know also that you are going to have a really beginning of a quite interesting little experience. And I really like this. You are at some point this month, my gorgeous Taurinis, you're going to find yourself a part of the maybe group of people, or you're going to find yourself somewhere where you didn't really plan. It's going to happen unplanned. When that happens, my gorgeous Taurinis, there is going to be the beginning of a quite interesting little adventure at the same time that you are going to feel. You will feel like this is an adventure. You will feel like this is different. You will feel like this is a bit of a different dimension, but a really good dimension that is just going to start awakening within you things that were sleeping for a long time. There is also going to be a rather interesting connection with your past, in particular when it comes to the certain stage in your past where there is going to be something for you to realize that you need to bring it back here, in particular when it comes to like trying to put a reflection on a certain problem or a certain issue. You know, there is something wonderful that you will be able to use, and it's going to have a healing effect on your life. But it's to do with the past, and it's to do with your childhood when you had a good time, not like bad time or a negative time or anything like that. It's just something very crucial, very wise, and you're going to find this quite important later on. This is is going to be an important month when it comes to the beginning of an adventure, enthusiasm, and this is all about the initiative that you are going to have connected to unlimited possibilities. This is very important to say. It's going to bring you like a really wonderful obsession. I say wonderful obsession because when we are obsessed with something in a good way, not in like a crazy way, but in a good way, with something that what we really like, with something that motivates us in many different ways, then this is the gift of God, you know, at the same time, because it helps us to vibrate and to penetrate this energy towards other people, you know, in a completely different way. And we are very powerful at that moment in time because the energy is just perfect. So this is a great time to test the waters a little bit. Just remember, if you don't jump in the water, you will never learn how to swim, my gorgeous Taurinis. It's important, but it's also very significant to understand that if you do want to try things for the first time, it's going to be brilliant. Also, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for work, this month is going to be absolutely remarkable. If you're looking for some kind of promotion or any kind of step up in your life, it's going to be great because you will realize possibilities there where you didn't even think that they actually were. Same if you are retired, you know, for example, you know, this is also going to bring you a remarkable possibility with unlimited opportunities that is just literally going to change your life in the best possible way. You will know when this is going to happen because, you know, at the same time there is again, I'm seeing an omen again. My Lord, omens. I'm not surprised that there's so many omens that we've all had throughout this year, but now in particular when it comes to our connection with our spirituality and our spirit guides and things like that, it's going to be rather intense in between now and the end of this year. So I'm not surprised that when you see a little animal, which is going to be, it could be any animal, it could be a bird, it could be a dog, it could be a coyote, it could be like a wolf, it could be like a bear, God knows, it could be absolutely any animal, you know, even an insect. It depends what situation you're going to find yourself at, what dimension you're going to be in, and your reflection on it and your connection with it. You will know that this is your animal, but that at the same time this is just going to answer a very important question to you. Just pay attention to your question and also pay attention to what was on your mind at the time, but at the same time you will know that it's not going to be that long, because this is going to be a messenger. This omen, this sign is going to be a messenger, and this messenger is going to let you know that it's not going to be that long until this particular opportunity comes to you with unlimited possibilities. And also when you see this animal as an omen, you just need to remember that you need to have a patience, and although you just need to remember to work on the management, and a little bit of adjustment is most certainly going to be needed, and someone is going to have a rather powerful influence in you at the same time. So this is something to pay attention to it, because there is going to be quite an important idea that you're actually going to gain through this. On another hand, when it comes to your health, my gorgeous Taurinis, I highly suggest you what I said before, to get organic acerola cherry powder. I know I said it millions of times, my gorgeous babies, but I am going to say it again. I'm going to say it again because it's important. It's a natural source of vitamin C without any chemicals, GMO nonsense, blah blah blah. This is natural. 1 liter teaspoon of organic acerola cherry powder is going to provide you a whopping amount of vitamin C per serving. So 1 glass of water every single morning on an empty stomach with a little teaspoon of the actual organic acerola cherry powder. And this is something that I highly recommend you to actually take, because it's going to boost your immune system by increasing vitamin C levels, and alongside vitamin D, and alongside the natural zinc. And there is also something else that I was going to recommend you, if you can actually if you feel a little bit drained, or if you feel a little bit tired throughout this month. This is going to be nothing unusual because a lot is going to be happening, so I suppose the energy can be drained quite quickly. Then also natural iron supplement in the liquid form would be the best. Natural iron supplement in a liquid form, if you can take also every single morning with the actual organic acerola cherry powder. It's a perfect combination. You know, you take a little glass of water, as I said, you take put a little 1 teaspoon of organic acerola cherry powder, and then you put a little bit of iron water in, iron liquid, which is completely without any rubbish or any preservatives or anything like that, just a natural iron water. It's brilliant and perfect to take alongside the actual vitamin C, organic acerola cherry powder, because vitamin C is essential to help with absorption of natural iron supplement. But this is if you feel tired, and this is going to be remarkable and going to have a good effect on you. What else I can actually see for you is like you're going to be having like a little bit of stress, you know, throughout September. Nothing too bad, but then if you do get stressed out, I highly recommend you something like the natural dose of B vitamins, you know, because B vitamins are remarkable when it comes to the actual stress, and also when it comes to the entire digestive system, because it can all be kind of connected. In particular, when it comes to uncomfortable feeling in the stomach, then natural B vitamins are remarkable when it comes to the actual uncomfortable feeling in the stomach, but also at the same time when it comes to your stress levels. It's something that you will find quite beneficial. On another hand, try to drink as much water as you possibly can, because water is going to be absolutely superb when it comes to flushing toxins out of the body. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now what else I was going to recommend to you, and it's super important, is to get something like this gorgeous little black onyx. You see this black onyx, one of my favorite crystals, again, because they're so powerful when it comes to protecting us. They're so powerful when it comes to protecting us against negative energy, negative situations, negative people. And on another hand, you know, it's just basically mild. It's so strong, but on another hand, it's mild enough, you know, in order not to interfere with us when we are making decisions, when we are dealing with important situations. And in particular, you know, when it comes to like when it's like so much happening around us, then it does affect our ability to not only think but to make important decisions. And black onyx is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to gathering that balance, that perfect balance, and keeping it, you know, which on another hand keeps us safe, you know. And it's going to be quite significant for you throughout September and October to protect yourself, but on another hand to pay attention to the actual balance when it comes to expressing yourself, communication and decision making. This gorgeous little black onyx comes with a sterling silver setting and the gorgeous sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say this, but this is something I highly recommend you for September and also October. The 2nd of September. Now, do you know what? The 2nd of September, it's wonderful because there is just something is going to keep on coming into your mind. There's a certain advice that is going to be keep on knocking on your little energy, knocking on your little spiritual door, which means there's someone very smart, someone very clever, someone very wise, someone very deep. It's going to be on your mind. Just pay attention, because there is also even more important than this is the fact what you're going to get out of it, because there is a very special message that you will be able to gather. It's not only the 2nd of September, it was the 2nd, 3rd and the 4th of September. All these 3 days are going to be super important when it comes to the actual, that particular advice that you are going to get and gain through this thinking process, through this like person who is going to be keep on coming back into your mind, somebody who impressed you, but in the most in the best possible ways. It's about a very important inspiration. And also the 2nd of September, it's going to be very significant when it comes to the certain success. You will hear a good news and you will know that you're on the right path. You will know that you're on the right journey. You just need to wait a little bit longer. The bottom line is you're going to find yourself on an advanced stage here, but it's to do with material attainment, and also this is going to reflect really nicely on your well-being and your good health. So if you had like lots of like ailments that you didn't see any improvements, you will be able to see them here. So this is really good, but it's most importantly, this is about the stability and the very important wish, very important process, very important situation, very important option, which is just you're going to become aware of here. And it's really good because it's to do with the safety, it's to do with your family, it's to do with also the fact that you are going to have a reward from quite a long stage or a long process here. It's going to start becoming quite evident. There is going to be an important family issue that you're going to need to be part of. You're going to need to put your energy in a little bit. If you haven't got a family, then basically it could be like your best friends, you know, the people who are really dear to you the most, you know. But most certainly, certain issue, it's going to be going around and it's going to need a little bit of your input. This is important. On another hand, you know, it is just basically you know, you will know why this day is going to be so important to you, because something is going to be in demand that you want to be in demand. What you want to be in demand, that particular thing is going to be in demand, and this is going to be everything to you, because it's going to open your eyes. It's going to give you that little push, but it's also going to bring it's going to bring a big smile on your face. The second important date, my gorgeous Taurinis, is going to be on the 18th of September. The 18th of September, it's, oh gosh, you know, it's just like two things that you will want to do, but you will not be able to do them because you're going to find yourself being and feeling a little bit difficult in order to launch a new project. This is nothing unusual, you know, but it's also very good, like kind of like something to pay attention to on the 18th of September. Try to not to launch any new projects. Try to not to start any new things. If you do start new things, then just remember that the things are not going to be as smooth. You know, if you do need to start new things but you can't change this date, that's absolutely fine, but just remember to give lots of time to yourself, and just remember that the things are going to maybe be a little bit slow, but it's going to be fine at the end. If you had this date down previously, then you just go for it. Maybe just have like a little bit of a salt in your pocket just to protect yourself, you know, in a little bag, or like any black crystal or any dark crystal, if you can just have it in your pocket, so it can kind of help you out with an energy balance. This is what you should do. Otherwise, just don't kind of like start new projects on this particular day. But what is this day teaching you? That it's perfect when it comes to the actual readjustment. It's perfect when it comes to the actual change, but it needs to come from you, which means that, you know, this is the day when you need to kind of focus and see what needs changes, what you want to change, in particular what needs your adjustments, but also when it comes to the actual certain sacrifice, you know, readjustments, because this day is going to be primarily responsible when it comes to your regeneration and rebirth, but it's going to be connected to the actual learning process. And this is, on another hand, you say it's a lot to do with learning, starting, beginning, adjusting, readjusting, you know, but not to start necessarily the whole new project. So it's the energy is just as strong, as balanced when it comes to you improving yourself, because it's going to lead towards the actual concentration, application and study, but it's to do with reflection and also the certain respect for knowledge. See where it's going to lead you, see where it's going to take you. This amazing respect for knowledge, because you're going to be guided by your spirit guides and guardian angels, and it's going to be very interesting with lots of signs along the way. I highly suggest you to get something like a labradorite. Look at this gorgeous crystal, labradorite. It's absolutely stunning. I'm just trying to get a little bit of reflection somehow, you know, of the light. You see this? You see on the side? It's so beautiful. It's like a gorgeous labradorite crystal, and this is something that is very beneficial, in particular when it comes to dreaming, in particular when it comes to connection, in particular when it comes to when it comes to thinking process, when we are very deep and we find ourselves like questioning ourselves a lot consciously and subconsciously at the same time. So labradorite is fantastic because it helps you to remember your dreams, it helps you to calm down, it helps you to keep the peace around you. So that's why I would highly suggest this to have next to your bed, or to next around where you work or where you spend the most of the time, because it's just keeping that vibration absolutely perfect, and you are able to distinguish, you know, which thoughts, you know, throughout your thinking process are actually remarkable, and then they return later on instead of just us forgetting about them. Labradorite is something I would highly recommend you also to get. The link is in the description below. Again, by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous Taurinis as well. 18th of September, it's also going to bring you the actual very important news when it comes to the justice, you know, and this is going to mean to you so much. It's part of the big big picture, but it's all about a harmony, an important reward for you, and a certain desire is going to become obvious, but also it's all about this self-satisfaction and an incredible advice you're gonna get and gain on that particular day. So just pay attention to the another advice that you're actually going to get here. The third important dates are going to be the very last of September, which is the 29th and the 30th. Now, this is important when it comes to the actual very beautiful feeling of peace, very beautiful feeling of achievement, and that's just a little tiny bit of anxiety and stress that you've had, you know, previously. Now this is going to seem so rewarding, like there is no tomorrow, because it's about connections, it's about reconnections, and it's about you getting closer to people who are in your life. This is so important because there is something that you've lost along the way over the last few years, you know, when it comes to maybe people around. So there is going to be an important continuation that is going to take place, and this is going to mean to you so much because it's going to seem so perfect, and you will see how important people are in your life and why are people in your life so important to you. Someone is going to do something to you so wonderful, so beautiful, and you will realize their feelings for you at the same time, but that is just going to happen at the best possible time. It's going to put on one hand like a big smile on your face, but then on another hand it's just going to give you so much reason to live. I'm not saying that you needed a reason to live, but it's just going to feel like, oh, this is so nice, and I like this, because it's also going to feel like a reward. And also on another hand, what else is going to happen on the 29th and 30th? You see, it's just going to be like a little bit of disappointment that you are going to feel, but this disappointment that you are going to feel is just basically you know, something that you've blamed yourself for, like a little error, you know, over the last 4 months something happened and you blamed for yourself for something. You blamed that you've done something wrong, but you didn't, baby. No, baby, no, you haven't done anything wrong. And this is like kind of emotional and this is very deep, and this is something that you don't like talking about, and it doesn't really matter because you're reaching this wonderful moment here. This caused you a little bit unhappiness, it caused you a little bit confusion and disappointment, but it's very important that this is actually happening, these feelings and emotions, on the 29th and the 30th of September, because you're going to hear something about it. You're going to become aware of the certain process and situation, and it's going to make you feel a bit disappointed, but you know what? It's brilliant, because now you're getting that much more wiser, and now you will be able to take this on the whole next level, whole next stage, where you're going to learn kind of how to deal with this, and you will start seeing this in a different light, and you will be able to gain so much out of it. So it's a rather nice spiritual flip-flop moment. It's about responsibility and creativity that you're going to feel, and also on another hand it's about the bravery and capacity that you will be able to focus on. So this is really beautiful side of that negative experience that you're going to be able to take out and use it for your own positivity and optimism, because you will grow out of it, and that in itself is going to give you the ability to look at the situation from a different angle, and that in itself is also going to be primarily responsible for your spirit to become very, very strong. So this is why it's just like what doesn't kill you make you stronger. You see, it's that type of thing just can't come to me, you see. That song comes to me, to my head, just like really quickly, really immediately. What doesn't kill you make you stronger, you know. And this is the strong feeling that I'm feeling that you are going to have. It's about your own capacity, and it's remarkable because at the end, at the same time, it is just going to set you on the journey, and a certain idea is going to come through forward, and you're gonna absolutely like it. That idea that you are going to have, it's going to be completely connected to you, to your future, and also to the actual important opportunities ahead that you wouldn't have before. And it's to do with the plans and important plans which you're going to need, and they're going to become quite significant later on. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, so now another thing I was going to recommend, it's like a gorgeous little dry sage. Look at the size of this, like, oh my lord, you know, if you get this, it's going to last you like forever, literally. But now, because lots of energy is going to be around. You want to like really smudge your home and cleanse your home from negative energy at least once a month. I would highly suggest like now in September, maybe even twice if you do it, and also in October. Very important. So it's something that is going to help you to cleanse your environment, but also it's going to help you to cleanse yourself from the negative energy at the same time. If you would like to buy this gorgeous dry sage, it's huge. The link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous Taurinis as well. So now the first part of September, it's going to bring you, oh God, a bit of a moment when you will say, you know what, I'm just going to move on. And that's brilliant. It's time to move on from a bit of a wishful thinking. Something that slowly came to an end karmically situation. You will think how unhappy you are with that situation, but at the same time, it's about the realization that it was about the wishful thinking. That in itself is going to bring you a very important and generous balance at the same time. When it comes to your own possession, when it comes to things around you, it's important for the first week of September just to see what changes you can make, because you will benefit from this balance and this new energy at the same time. What, like, you change things around, change your plans a little bit, change your statues or whatever, you know, anything is going to have a really important effect on you at the same time. And also, you know, an important moment with the family, it's going to take place in the beginning of September as well. You're going to hear an important news which is going to put a massive smile on your face, and it's going to give you joy as well. The second part of September, it's gonna really it's a fantastic time, like anything to do with your professional life, anything to do if you want to prove yourself, anything if you want to if you want to improve yourself. At the same time, you're going to be very strong when it comes to your professional life, when it comes to promotion, when it comes to proving yourself, when it comes to looking for a job. Mid-September until the end of September, it's going to be mind-blowing time to do so. And anything you do anything you set your mind on, you know, you are just going to do so well. The more free you are, the more powerful you're going to be. The more you do, the more you're going to get back. The more you're going to be able to get back. Just remember that somebody is going to try to have a bit of a conflict with you, and always remember what a Sashita said to you. Someone is going to try to have a little bit of conflict here, with you mid-September. Just use your angel wings, my gorgeous Taurinis, and fly above this negativity, this a little bit of negative and quite low energy and vibration. You do not go in because it's just unnecessary and it's not something that you need. You just evolve from that quite nicely. So just make sure if someone tries to have a battle or argument with you, your job is just to basically do everything in order to avoid that situation, which is what you're gonna do. And then that is going to be followed by your spiritual teacher, spiritual leader, or guru, or somebody who you see like that in this slide. It's also going to have an important impact here for you mid-September, because they will say something that it's just going to make sense to you, and you will know that the time is go in order to pay attention to the new beginning that you wouldn't normally pay attention to, but it's important because it's to do with unlimited possibilities. The third part of September is going to bring you an absolutely remarkable news when it comes to the actual emotions that you felt really oppressed before, you know, repressed emotions, you know. So now it's going to bring you an overwhelming emotion when you hear an important news, in particular when it comes to somebody very special who is about to return into your life at the same time as well. Also, the end of September, it's going to bring you a remarkable news when it comes to your own personal development. You know, whatever you do, whether you're working, whether you're not working, whether you're retired, it doesn't matter. The last part of September, it's not only going to bring you an important realization about your skill, but there is also some kind of option that you will have, and it's going to be remarkable because it's to do with who you are. It's also to do with something that you wanted to do before, because it's connected to delays and lack of motivation, and now it's going to bring you an important mind-blowing inspiration and potential at the same time. Absolutely remarkable judgment you will make at the end of September, and it's going to be remarkable because it's to do with your own promotion of your own life and rebirth. Most certainly, absolutely super important. Just watch for the opportunity at the end of the month, my gorgeous Taurinis, please. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle the cards and I'm going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationship, my gorgeous Taurinis. Now, for those of you in relationship, of course, it's the Hanged Man, but it's upside down. So it's just going to take slightly a little bit longer, but it's just like you need to realize there is something that is bringing you down as a couple. There is something that is making you feel uneasy. There is something that is making you feel uncomfortable because it's the new stage that you should be going for, that you should be watching for, and now the time is right. But one of you is trying to block this and one of you is trying to stop this, and it's to do with an adjustment, it's to do with a rebirth, it's to do with a new option, but it's also to do with a huge picture which is going to be life-changing later on. Somebody is blocking, one of you two is blocking the certain continuation, and this is slowly going to come to an end, because I do see a bit of a self-denial which has come to the surface. But most importantly, it's about the time when you're both going to be self-illuminated, and this is going to become obvious by the end of the actual month. So the most important thing is that you are going to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and move on from this situation. So it's going to be rather positive indeed. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle these cards and I'm going to see for those of you Taurinis that are single and ready to mingy. Okay, now this is, you see, in general, this is actually a good card, but I'm afraid there is still a bit of a partial loss that you are actually going to feel, which means that there will be someone who is just kind of either going to walk into your life for the first time this month, and it's no baby no, I would highly avoid. Or it's going to be somebody who's going to return into your life this month from before, and again I would say no baby no, you need to avoid this, because there is something not quite right with this person. It's not going to be the right person. Sometimes people have a really strange and unusual balance around them, but they have such a shielding protection at the same time, which can be quite difficult to distinguish what exactly these people are all about. And this is why I'm saying it's going to be one of them. So I'm afraid no. This is important because this normally happens before someone special walks into your life, but in this instance, if it's someone from before and make themselves known, no baby no. Or if it's somebody for the first time and you will know, they will feel there will be something off about them. So I just say no baby no. October, it sounds more promising, but in September it's still a bit of a learning experience that you will go through, I'm afraid, my gorgeous Taurinis, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Taurinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.